Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
And welcome everyone to Atkinson Field on the campus of Mississinewa High School for the opening day here of Major League Baseball. So it's a great day for baseball here. It is the first home game of the 2022 baseball campaign for the Mississinewa Indians as they welcome in the Wabash Apaches. Wabash is 1-0 on the year. Mississinewa 0-1. They lost to Adams Central back on Tuesday, 8-1. Taking a look at the lineup for Mississinewa defensively, Cohen Bailey will be on the mound. Obviously, having some issues with his picture there, so Cohen Bailey will be on the mound. Carter Burton will be behind the plate. The infield from third to first is Grego Banyan at third base, Landry Rock at shortstop, Holden Brown is at second base, and Keegan Williams is at first. The outfield from left to right, Luke Bennett, Carson Campbell, and Dylan Fritch. As you'll see all night long, all of these Indian baseball players are wearing number 21. That is in honor of the late great Rick Atkinson. So that will be something that you will see, I think, for a long time here as the season starts each year. So every home opener for Mississinewa, I would assume that you would see number 21 on their jerseys. My name is Dalton Bishop. It's a pleasure to be with you, and I'm joined by Josh Dakin. And Josh, it's not necessarily ideal for baseball, but nonetheless, this weather's something else. But Mississinewa, game number 2 of the 2022 campaign. So looking at Wabash, this is how they will line up. They're due up Jason Tate, Trevor Daughtery, and Andrew Dillon. Jason Tate will be the left fielder. Trevor Daughtery will be at third, and Andrew Dillon will be on the mound for the Wabash Apaches. So we are set for baseball here on Atkinson Field. And stepping in to lead things off for the Wabash Apaches will be the right-handed batting left fielder, Jason Tate.
What a beautiful day for baseball, you know what?
It's beautiful, Josh. First pitch on the outside corner, taking a strike.
I think a key tonight for Cohen Bailey is going to be painting that outside corner, try to get the batter to chase it, you know?
He's got quite a bit of velocity for just being a sophomore. He can throw a fastball up around the 82, 83 mile an hour. You'll see it about 79 to 83 mile an hour from Cohen Bailey. Talking to Coach Mike Scott a little bit earlier today, he was talking about with the colder weather, you'll see Cohen probably around the 81, 80-ish mark today as he whips in another fastball right down Broadway. And he's ahead in the count 1-2.
Well, that's 3 pitches and 3 kind of right there on the outside of the plate. I think that's going to kind of be a game plan going forward here for Coach Scott.
1-2 pitch coming to Jason Tate, the left fielder. And it's a breaking ball, swung on and missed. For strike out number 1 of the day for Cohen Bailey. It's out number 1, and so far so good for the sophomore Cohen Bailey. He looks pretty good.
Absolutely, and that was a beautiful cleanup job there by the catcher Carter Burton.
Yeah, he was able to scoop it out of the dirt because that was a nice breaking ball. So you'll see a fastball, curveball, and a changeup from Cohen Bailey as the right-handed batter Trevor Daughtery steps to the plate. He's the third baseman for the Apaches. First pitch taken outside, ball 1.
This kid's a very good athlete, basketball player as well. So hand-eye coordination is going to be key here.
We'll see what Cohen Bailey has to offer here early in this ball game. Mississinewa dropped their first matchup of the season to Adams Central 8-1, and that was a ball game where Mississinewa pitched fairly well. They just didn't have the bats to back up the pitching, but Keegan Williams did a great job for Mississinewa in that opening game, as it's a 1-1 count here to Daughtery. The 1-1 pitch is a breaking ball. Ground ball to second base to Holden Brown, and the throw pulled Williams up off the bag, but he was able to corral it and bring it in for a very close out number 2 at first base.
That's an acrobatic play there by Keegan Williams, and I actually thought the Wabash runner there was actually probably safe.
Yeah, from where we are at
like
up
from
here in the press box, it looked to be that he was probably safe, as you said, but nonetheless, the umpire gave him an out. 2 down here in the top half of the first. That brings up the pitcher, Andrew Dillon, who will bat from the left side. First pitch fastball taken in the dirt, ball 1. So Bailey has got it kind of going here early in this ball game.
I mean, he's just painting the plate right now. He's just letting them hit it, but they can't right now. Everything's swing and a miss, swing and a miss.
As a freshman, he did an outstanding job on the mound. So back for his sophomore campaign. And the 1-0 pitch taking right down Broadway, strike 1. It's a 1-1 count to the left-handed batting, Andrew Dillon. We'll talk about him in the bottom half of this inning. What an outstanding pitcher he is, as this one taking outside. It's 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 down here in the top half of the first inning on the home opener for the Mississinewa baseball team. Wabash was able to pick up a win back on March 30th, about a week and a half ago. They played Wawasee. They were able to come away with a 4-3 victory in that one.
That's a really good win.
Yeah, Wawasee is typically really good as a breaking ball taken inside, and Bailey has fallen behind 3 balls and 1 strike here to Andrew Dillon.
That was all over the inside corner of the plate. That was definitely a toss-up on if that was going to be a ball or strike.
Here's the 3-1. This one, fastball just a little bit high, and Bailey issues his first walk of the game to Andrew Dillon, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, the center fielder, number 11, Justin Booth. And this Wabash team that we talked about, it's been about a week and a half since they've played, and it's not really like a basketball where you lose your rhythm. It's probably beneficiary for Wabash that they're able to get a break and work on some things and come back for game 2 of their season.
Absolutely. It's almost like a scrimmage. You're able to kind of assess what you did well and what you didn't do so well, and able to break it down in a full week of practice and get back out here and attempt to do what you didn't do well the first time around.
The runner from first to second, as Burton come up to throw, dropped it. And a stolen base for Andrew Dillon and the Apaches, knocking on the door of getting a run here in the top half of the first inning. They got a runner in scoring position, and 2 balls, no strikes to the cleanup hitting Justin Booth.
Let's see if the Indians can get out of a little trouble here.
Check of the runner, and the throw is a ball that will go to the backstop. And now Cohen Bailey has fallen behind 3 balls and no strikes after really 2 back-to-back outs, and what was a really good start to the inning is now starting to kind of get into some trouble for Cohen Bailey.
Well, I think Cohen was a little too worried about the runner there on second instead of just throwing to the batter, and that's what caused that wild pitch. I mean, got him out there dancing on second base, and I think he was a little worried.
3-0 pitch, taken in the dirt, ball 4. And after back-to-back outs, it's now back-to-back walks. And it brings runners to the corners for the catcher, that's the second baseman, number 3, Jared Brooks. So I'm a little ahead of myself here.
If I was Wabash, I'd be sending him to second.
Oh, there's no question about it. But the thing to risk here is if he gets thrown out, then you leave a runner at third.
I'd go ahead and send him. They're not going to throw, I wouldn't think.
Here's a first.
Unless things have changed since when we played way back when.
know if we're way back when, but first pitch nonetheless taken for a strike.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
No balls and a strike to the second baseman, Jared Brooks. And here's another fastball, paints the black. No balls and 2 strikes. So Cohen Bailey, after issuing back-to-back walks, firing, coming right at Jared Brooks with back-to-back fastballs.
Brooks needs to choke up here and just try to put the ball in play and see what will happen. Yeah, I figured Wabash was going to do something similar to that. It took him a little longer than I expected, but either way, it's an 0-2 count, so attack the batter.
I think if I'm Cohen Bailey, here's my fastball, see if you can hit it.
Well, and the thing for Cohen is now he doesn't even have to worry about that runner on first. He's in second. He can just focus on the batter.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball chopped down the first base line. Bailey misfields the ball. The runner from third does score. It's an error on the pitcher. And now again runners at the corners with 2 outs, and it's a 1-0 Wabash Apache lead. And now it will bring up the catcher, number 25, Blake Smith.
Yeah, and I think that was almost a situation of almost like a football, like a wide receiver turning to run before he's even caught it. Cohen was kind of looking at first before he's even able to field it. So kind of that same idea.
The first error of the game on Mississinewa. They committed 4 back on Tuesday against Adams Central. And now a ball in the dirt. It's 1 ball, no strikes. And Bailey did his job. He was able to create a pitch to where he was able to get that third out, but just a mistake cost the Indians a run there.
Absolutely, and if you're Wabash here, Dalton, what do? You send that runner to second again, or
yeah,
go ahead and play it out the way it is?
Absolutely, I'm sending him to second, and his pitch taken for a strike. I mean, you look at Blake Smith, and he's batting in the 6th hole, but he looks like he's someone who could put the ball in the gap somewhere and potentially score 2 more runs for Wabash.
Well, and speaking of that, I happen to be looking out to center field and look at the flags whipping, wind blowing from the home plate out to center field. So this could be a home run win today.
Here's a foul ball back behind home plate, and Bailey ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I mean, I'm waiting to see somebody crank one over the fence today. That wind is blowing directly out.
Yeah, you get a ball hit pretty well into center field, and it's gone.
Yeah, there's no sense in even throwing it there. Go ahead and just pitch. Good decision by Bailey there.
And here's the problem. And hasn't been a problem yet, but Bailey steps off the mound when the runner goes. I think I would just come to home plate, because when you go to step off the mound, there's a chance that you could possibly balk.
Yeah,
and the runner from third will then score.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to step off here and reset, kind of gather his thoughts. And Burton's doing a really good job here, I think, of going and just chatting with him, settling him down a little bit, getting him back into his rhythm. In the first 2 batters he was in rhythm, and then all of a sudden 1 walk and he's totally out of rhythm. He just needs to kind of gather his thoughts and get back in it.
He's in another position here to where he could work out of what could be some major damage in this inning. 2 runners in scoring position, 2 outs. You're heading to count 1 and 2. I think I'm coming right here with a strike. And the pitch is a ball bounced to third. O'Banion will misfield it. And again, error number 2 here on the top of the first. Now 2 runners have scored in the inning. And you got runners at first and second. And that'll bring up the right fielder, number 8, Colton Learned.
Yeah, I'm going to chalk that one up to a really tough read there. He got jammed there. He was playing a little off third base, kind of right down the line, wasn't able to get over in front of it in time. Had to kind of backhand it and trap it. That was kind of just a rough situation.
So back-to-back batters where you should have had an out. It cost you now 2 runs, both of them unearned.
I mean, Wabash is thinking these are early Christmas presents,
Yeah, I mean you're up 2-0 in the home opener for Mississinewa. You'd like to see right here what Cohen Bailey can do to work out of the inning. He's pitched very, very well. Here's a throw down to third on the runner, and he's thrown out. A nice throw by the catcher, Carter Burton. And a break there for Mississinewa. They get out of the inning, but they do give up 2 runs on 2 errors. And Wabash leaves 2 on base. We'll come back with the bottom half of the first inning. You're watching Mississinewa Indians Baseball on the Tribe Sports Network. And welcome back to Atkinson Field on the campus of Mississinewa High School. So we get set to kick off things here in the bottom half of the first inning, and set to lead things off for the Indians will be center fielder number 1, Carson Campbell. There's a look at the lineup there on your screen. And Josh, we talked about Andrew Dillon when he was batting, and Dillon is a person who only gave up 1 hit against Wawasee. He's going to be someone who could give the Indians fits here this afternoon.
And that's pretty good for opening day baseball. Their very first game of the season, he goes out and throws a 1-hitter.
Yeah, and right there delivers a first pitch strike to Carson Campbell.
He's got a little bit of juice behind that ball, don't he?
Campbell was
Holy cow.
0 of 4 against Adams Central, but he did draw a walk that ended up turning into a run later in the ball game. There's a breaking ball that hits Campbell, so here we go in the bottom half of the first. Carson Campbell will be on base, and that'll bring up.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I was always told as a kid growing up playing baseball, a hit's is good. Getting hit by a pitch is as good as getting a base hit, so we'll take it.
That'll bring up the second baseman, number 7, Holden Brown. Obviously still wearing number 21 in honor of the late, great Rick Atkinson. Here is a throw over to first. Almost got Campbell. He dives back in safely.
That was a little bit closer than I thought it was going to be.
So Campbell will take another short lead down at first. Holden Brown, the batter. He was the only one to get an RBI back on Tuesday. And Campbell will take off down to second. That one not even close, and a stolen base for Carson Campbell.
Yeah, and I think that's a great strategy by Coach Scott to put Campbell leading off to get him on base to where he can do what he's good at, and that's running. So very good.
So Campbell in scoring possession. No balls and a strike to Holden Brown. The Indians with business here in the bottom half of the first. An opportunity to score, and boy, the wind howling. Straight away center. A look of the runner. Into the plate comes Dillon. A ball in the dirt. Campbell will just take third like nothing, and Carson Campbell, back-to-back pitches, back-to-back stolen bases.
He's like a gazelle out there. I mean, 1 second you're looking up, he's on second. Next thing you know, he's over to third before the blink of an eye.
So a runner 90 feet away from scoring in a fly ball here. I mean, even if it's just a short pop-up, it may end up out there in center field. The wind is just blowing, and here's another breaking ball just a little bit high in there. It's 2 balls and a strike to Holden Brown.
About caught his guard on his shoulder. I mean, it was awful close.
2 balls and a strike. If I'm Holden Brown here, I'm waiting on my pitch and just going to put it in play as the infield, the corners are in. As here's a ball in the dirt. It is 3 balls and a strike, and this is a hitter's count for Holden Brown.
Yeah, I don't think you need to take here. I think if you get the green light special right down the middle of the plate, I say you try to rip this one into the outfield somewhere.
And Holden Brown is a person that can do some damage with the bat.
Historically a good hitter. Honestly, a ball in play is going to get you a run here with Campbell on third.
So the corners are on the grass, and here is the 3-1 pitch in the dirt that Brown swung at, and now the count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitcher, Cohen Bailey, stands on deck. He'll be the next to bat. Apache's leading 2-0 here at the bottom of the first inning here at Atkinson Field. Comes the payoff pitch. This one swung on and missed. It's a drop third strike. And Holden Brown will reach, so on a drop third strike, that'll be an error, but Brown, nonetheless, is down at first, and I think you use a little bit of what Wabash did to you in the top half of the inning. Send Brown down to second, because if they throw it, there's no doubt about it, Campbell scores walking in.
Absolutely. So this would definitely be one where I'd be sending Brown, no doubt. Just to get him thinking about that, that could definitely score a run.
That brings up the pitcher, number 9, Cohen Bailey. Try to help himself out here. Here comes the pitch. Brown down to second on a breaking ball, and he will walk down to second without a throw. That's
good decision by Coach Scott to go ahead and send him.
We'll see what Cohen Bailey can do here. A ball in the outfield scores 2. Holden Brown pretty good at running the bases. Decent speed.
Oh, yeah. He puts this into the gap. This could be a double, triple, and we could be seeing a tie ball game.
Here's a breaking ball way outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cohen Bailey, another one that can use the stick to put the ball in the outfield somewhere. Plays for the Indiana Nitro Gold in the summer. Does a lot of travel baseball. So Cohen Bailey, a born baseball player.
Him and Holden Brown both play a lot of AAU or travel baseball.
You know, I believe they both actually play for the Indiana Nitro Gold. Right. So both of them, as you said, will play a lot of baseball throughout the year. And I know talking to Cohen a little bit earlier today, he was hoping to have a much better day than what he had on Tuesday.
Yeah.
He's ahead in the count here. 2 balls and a strike. Runners, both of them in scoring possession. Brown down at second, Campbell at third, and here's the 2-1 pitch and a breaking ball. Misses inside. It is 3 balls and a strike, and it goes back to what you said. You get the green light here on a fastball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cohen Bailey would be sitting all over it.
Yeah. And so far, pitcher just doesn't have his stuff here to start.
Last update we had in Major League Baseball, the Chicago Cubs were tied 3-3 with the Milwaukee Brewers. Here's a fastball, and it's lined into right field. It is caught. Campbell will tag from third, and he will walk in easily. Brown will go to third, and Cohen Bailey will get a sacrifice RBI single, or RBI fly out to right field that will score Campbell. It is 2-1, and that'll bring up the shortstop Landry Rock.
And honestly, if you're Coach Scott, you're saying that's all you really need to do is put the ball in play, get us a run, get them on, get them over, get them in. That's my philosophy, and I think that's Coach Scott's as well. That's a great start here for the Indians in the bottom of the first.
So, again, a runner 90 feet away with 1 out. It's 2-1. Let's see what Landry Rock can do. Just signed to go play football. I don't remember where that was at. Where was that? Hanover. So, good to see Landry Rock going to go play football in college. What a very disappointing end to his high school football career. He was going to have an outstanding season, and here's a ground ball to the shortstop that will score Holden Brown. We're tied up at 2, but Landry Rock does his job, puts the ball in play, and we're tied at 2 on a ground out to the shortstop.
Once again, get him on, get him over, get him in. Landry did his job. I got an update on the Cubs. Top of the 8th, Chicago Cubbies 5, Milwaukee Brewers 4.
And here is,
Great walk-up music there by Keegan Williams.
yes, he will step to the plate.
Stacy's mom.
Very interesting. Here's a breaking ball. Just missed a little high. That was a nice, nice breaking ball.
That ball had a right turn signal, and it just dipped 90 degrees.
Well, I'll tell you, I talked about it a little bit earlier. Andrew Dillon can flat throw the ball on the mound. Here's a ball inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, it would have been a left turn signal for the pitcher. For us, it's a right turn signal. But holy cow, that thing just dropped off the table.
He's got a nice delivery to the plate. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 out. Here's a fastball. Hits the inside corner. It's 2 balls and a strike to Keegan Williams.
That's a good pitch, trying to jam him on the inside corner. Very well done.
Don't forget, coming up 8 o'clock tonight, the greatest team to ever play the game of baseball will play, the Cincinnati Reds.
Maybe back in the 80s.
There's 2 balls and 2 strikes, fouled off.
The Big Red Machine back in the 70s. That had been about the last time the Cincinnati Reds were any good.
Well, I'm just letting you know they're the oldest team in baseball, so they're the ones who started it all for everybody.
Well, fair enough. We'll let you have a little bit of fame.
Absolutely. We haven't been in the playoffs in the last 20 years, but I'm still a Reds fan. Anyway, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and here is
That's beautiful.
A blooping single into the right center field gap, and Keegan Williams gets the first hit of the day for the Mississinewa Indians. And there's a runner on first, and to bring up the third baseman, Greg O'Banion. Nice crowd on hand here on a frigid Thursday afternoon for baseball.
Yeah, it was a late arriving crowd, but they found their way here to the beautiful Atkinson Field.
Here's a pitch taken on the outside corner, called a strike, and just a good location there by Andrew Dillon. Tied at 2. Runner at first is Keegan Williams. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Dillon. This one swung on and missed. No balls, 2 strikes to Greg O'Banion.
And Dillon's got him right where he wants him now. I mean, this is a pitcher's count. You can get him to chase here. I'd say low and outside.
O'Banion chokes up on the bat. Waits the 0-2 pitch, and here it is. This one is another fastball. This one's fouled back.
I think he missed his spot on that one because that was right down the plate.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at first. Carson Campbell and Holden Brown both scoring on sacrifice flies. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Again from Dillon to the plate. This is inside. Be 1 ball and 2 strikes to Greg O'Banion.
That one was awful close to hitting him. I thought there for a second it actually got him.
It did look very, very close, and I'll be interested to see if someone can get a hold of one today because I'm just amazed by how the wind is howling those flags out there in center field. Runner in motion, and this is a breaking ball that is a fly ball down the right field line, slicing foul.
That wind might actually helped him there. It's kind of blowing from the third base side to first base. Just push it out of play.
And if that one drops on the line, Williams scores easily.
He was really indecisive if he was going to swing or not on that one. He kind of jammed him on the handle of the bat.
So Mississinewa had the hit and run on there for sure.
Yeah.
Keegan Williams.
Why wouldn't you with 2 outs?
Yeah, because Keegan Williams is not typically a person you're going to see steal a lot of bases. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. This is a breaking ball. Beautiful pitch by Andrew Dillon. Locks up Greg O'Banion for out number 3. And after 1 inning of play, we're tied at 2 as the Indians score 2 runs on 1 hit. Top half of the second coming up next. You're watching Indians Baseball on the Tribe Sports Network. So as we get set with the top half of the second inning, stepping up to the plate for the Wabash Apaches will be the right fielder, number 8, Colton Learned. Josh, what I saw out of Cohen Bailey in that first inning, I thought he pitched pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, other than 2 errors, I thought he did a really good job. I mean, both errors weren't on him. Only one of them is credited to him. But, I mean, he seemed to be hitting his spots fairly well there. The first couple batters kind of lost his rhythm after that, but he seems to be pretty much right on it so far.
First pitch missing inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Taken right down Broadway, strike 1.
There it is. That's what he was looking like at the beginning of last inning.
He's got a nice delivery to the plate. Once he gets in a rhythm, he's really hard to hit.
It's that outside corner low strike. That's the perfect pitch, and he's hitting it right now. Once again, that's hit same spot.
And almost another error, and it is an error on Holden Brown. Colton Learned will reach base on an error, and that is 3 errors in not even 2 innings.
I'm not going to make an excuse, but that did kind of take a weird hop.
Coach Scott, I was talking to Coach Mike Scott earlier today. I said, Coach, what do you got to do to come away with the win? He said, you got to be better defensively. Well, they've got just almost as many errors as they had in their game Tuesday.
I mean, they did everything they wanted to do offensively. You score 2 runs an inning, you're liable to win every game you play. But it doesn't matter if you score if you can't stop the other team from scoring.
Here's a fastball. Not quite sure where that one missed, but nonetheless, it's taken for a ball. There's 1 ball and no strikes. Runner down at first. Doesn't look like he's necessarily one that will steal. He takes a short lead. Here's another pitch. This one misses high. 2 balls and a strike. Or 2 balls and no strikes, rather. This is Chaden Beeks. This is the first baseman.
Yeah, now with Bailey being behind, he's going to have to work here to get back ahead and count.
Comes the 2-0 pitch. This one misses low.
That's about 6.5 inches from being perfect, you know what? Just on that bottom half of the zone, needed it to rise about 6 inches, and that's about the best pitch in baseball.
3 balls, no strikes. Runner at first, who reached on an error. And Bailey will come to the plate with a 3-0 pitch. Here comes the 3-0 from Bailey. This one catches the plate. The throw down to first is not in time. There's 3 balls and a strike. So I would like to see Cohen Bailey come right at Beeks right here.
Yeah, I mean, you almost got to throw it right down the center of the plate and just hope he doesn't hit it. And if he does, he hits it right to one of your defenders. I mean, you can't be dabbling with the edges of the zone here.
He is in the 8-hole, but he looks like a hitter. He's in the 8-hole, but I would say he's in the 8-hole for a reason.
Yeah, a lot of times those guys at the bottom of the lineup, they put them down there to where you get somebody on base, they can get them in. Or they can get on base to where the top of the lineup can get them in.
And Bailey will step off the mound again, and there's a lot of confusion going on between the catcher and the pitcher right now. I look for Bailey to just come right in here with a fastball on a 3-1 count.
You know, everybody's always talking about the 4-5 hitter.
It is a fastball.
I think a lot of times the most important hitters in the lineup are the 8-9.
The 3-1 fastball was swung on and missed. Now we got a full count. Matthew Stevens makes his appearance into the press box. Full count, runner at first, no outs, and fastball misses high. And after an error, Bailey will walk Beeks, and that'll bring up the shortstop, number 14, Keaton Fields. So, again, defensively, errors hurting Mississinewa.
Yeah.
They've got 7 errors through 8 and not even a third of an inning on the season.
The thing that Mississinewa needs to do now is something called a triple play.
That sounds ideal, but I don't know that that's necessarily something that can happen in the easiest. I mean, it does still happen, but
it does. But it's very far and few between. If they can get a double play here, if they could just get the lead runner, that'd be a good out. I love Wabash's decision here to kind of sack bunt.
I think if I'm Bailey, I'm coming here with a breaking ball. It's kind of hard to bunt a breaking ball.
Yeah, but then you take the risk of maybe going a little bit wild and getting a free base on a wild pitch. So you kind of got to weigh your options here. You pitch to him or you get a little risky with it.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. And bunt pulled back.
Wow. That's a good pitch.
Yeah. Not quite sure where that one missed, but
I was
again,
all over it.
We're not behind the plate exactly, but looked pretty close from where we were at. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 runners on. Top half of the second inning. Here's the 1-1 from Bailey. This is a ball that is bunted in almost a perfect spot. In the flick from Bailey to third is in time. Gets the out at third. Nice play by the pitcher, Cohen Bailey, to get the lead runner.
Well, like I said, I loved Wabash's decision of trying to sack bunt, but why would you not go up the first base side is what I was wondering.
I thought where that pitch was in a good location. The bunt was almost in perfect location.
Oh, no, it was an even better play by Bailey.
And
I'm not saying it was a bad bunt. I'm just confused.
That was an unbelievable play by the pitcher, Cohen Bailey, and that turns over the lineup. We're at the top of the lineup for the Apaches, and it's left fielder Jason Tate as he stands there and takes a strike.
I guess my philosophy on that is you're bunting right into where you're running. Why not bunt away to give Bailey more room, have to throw longer distance, you know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
I guess I'm just confused.
If the bunt's to the first base side, Bailey probably just goes to first.
Yeah. I mean, then you have the lead 2 runners. Now you take away that lead runner by bunting that way.
Back-to-back fastballs on the black. And Bailey's ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Now here's where you can get a little bit crazy with it and get him to try to chase.
And the 0-2 pitch. Another fastball. This one fielded at first. The throw to second. And Rock was not on the bag, so you should have had another out. And the runner will reach first on a fielder's choice.
Well, and Williams did exactly what he's taught. Throw it to second. And nobody was there to cover. Early season hiccups here still.
So
in
now,
game number 2.
Now the bases are juiced for Trevor Daughtry.
And that is not who you want up.
If he is half the baseball player he is a basketball player, oh boy. Here's some high cheese from Cohen Bailey taken for a strike. No
Great
balls
pitch.
and a strike.
Well, if the ball's hit to the corners, you're going home with it. Up the middle, you're turning 2.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Cohen Bailey. Another fastball right down Broadway for a strike.
Now, Dalton, if this is you, do you try to get a little crazy with a pitch here to get him to chase, or you just throw it down the plate with a chance of a wild pitch and that guy on third coming home?
Bailey's got to change up, maybe change speeds here with him. He throws another fastball, this one in the dirt. Try to get him to chase. I mean, it's a good pitch.
Yeah,
try to get him to chase.
Great cleanup job by Burton to not let that ball go past. He just kind of falls on it. Very good.
I think, and again, like I just said, I think if I'm Bailey, maybe changing speeds on a changeup, get him out in front to roll one over for a double play.
Yeah, because he's still got the count in his favor.
There's the breaking ball to second. Brown will throw it to second in time for the out, but a runner does score. But they do get an out, so.
Get to second base for us out at second for the second of the inning.
There's
They'll
2
take
outs.
it.
Yeah, there's 2 outs. Runner does score. The Wabash regains the lead at 3-2. But you help out your pitcher by getting an out.
Well, and that's a tough situation because it's one of those low ground balls that was real slow. Got caught up in the grass. They weren't able to turn 2 with it because it took forever to get to them.
You know, you see 3 runs on the board. None of those are earned runs on Cohen Bailey. All of those are either been on an error or on a walk.
Yeah, I mean, these runs aren't due to Bailey's pitching. It's as a result of incorrect fielding on the Indians' part.
Bailey's done his job. He's gotten ground ball after ground ball. He got strikeouts. He did walk a couple of batters, but they would have never scored if it wouldn't have been for the errors. Here's a ground ball to second. Nice fielding play by Holden Brown. He'll throw it over to first in time for the out. Nice play by the second baseman, Holden Brown.
That's an artwork. That's almost like one of Picasso's paintings right there. That's beautiful.
The Apaches regain the lead here in the top half of the second. They lead it 3-2 over the Indians, but the Indians will bring the bats to the plate in the bottom half of the inning. Comes up next. You're watching Indians Baseball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Atkinson Field on the campus of Mississinewa High School. The Wabash Apaches leading 3-2 and set to lead things off here in the bottom half of the inning. For the Indians is the catcher, number 52, Carter Burton. We'll see what the Indians can do here offensively. First pitch to Burton, taken low, ball one.
That's a good eye.
I think if you're Mississinewa, it's just going back to doing what you do best, and that's being patient at the plate, making sure that you're getting good at bats. As I talked to Coach Scott earlier, he said they had runners at second and third at Adams Central and 9 pitches. Swing and a miss, swing and a miss, swing and a miss, 3 consecutive batters in a row.
Yeah, and that's the definition of really discipline and good baseball. When you can take a at-bat to 9-10 pitches, that means you're being very disciplined, you're picking the right pitches to swing at, and that means you're really patient and have a really good eye.
So that one was taken in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes to Carter Burton. 7-hole hitter. The Indians have Burton, Bennett, and Fritz due up here in the inning. So here's a pitch taken inside. 3 balls and no strikes.
Another really good eye, and if I'm Coach Scott, I'm saying do not swing, whatever you do.
Yeah, that's...
Make him throw you a strike.
I mean, unless you're a Cincinnati Red, you don't swing on 3-0.
You're absolutely right on that one.
Here's the 3-0 pitch taken outside.
Yep. That's a good eye, but that's a good pitch too. I mean, that was right on the corner.
Yeah. Perfect pitch.
Good location.
3 balls and a strike.
I still think unless it's a green light pitch, you might take this one.
Here's the 3-1 to Burton. Swung on and missed. He had a nice cut.
That was a good one to swing at, but yeah, he was definitely swinging for the fence.
He tried to place that one downtown Marion.
That was an Anthony Rizzo fall onto your knee swing.
Yeah, that was a nice cut. This one's fouled straight back and out of play.
That about came through the window and got all of us up here in the box.
Boy. Talking about
You better
Anthony.
be able to catch still, Dalton.
See, I was talking to Carter Burton. He's a Reds fan. He was talking about Rizzo. He was trying to do some damage to us. Cubs did win. I know Rizzo's not a Cub anymore, but the Cubs did win today, 5-4 over the Milwaukee Brewers.
And that's a good way to start off the season against the best team in the division.
Our producer here, Derek Gowan, is a terrible, terrible Yankee fan, so he still gets to deal with Rizzo.
Rizzo's one of my favorite all-time players.
3-2 pitch, just low, and Burton draws a walk, and Dylan just put his head down as he got the pitch. That was close, but
Well, speaking of something I said earlier, choking up on an 0-2 count, Rizzo's about the only person in the MLB that still chokes up on when he's behind in the count just to put the ball into play. And I think that's great baseball on his end to do something like that.
the Indians did bring in a courtesy runner for the catcher, Carter Burton. It is Nolan Quadra.
Okay.
Luke Bennett.
Put a little speed on the base.
So now Luke Bennett steps to the plate. Chance
I
to
have
do
a
some
weird
damage.
suspicion they might be trying to send him here. What do you think?
I don't know about on the first pitch, but I think he will get sent. Send, full send.
Please do.
So, anyway, here's the first pitch. Swung on and missed, as we were talking about up here in the box. Dylan Fritsch not having a walk-up song, so we're going to take care of him. We're not going to tell you guys what we're doing, but it is no balls and a strike to left fielder Luke Bennett. And the pitch is a ball into the right center field gap.
That's beautiful.
Quadrer will go on to second. The Indians with runners at first and second, nobody out. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Dylan Fritsch. So, if you can hear it in the background, it is Baby Shark.
There's first and second. That brings up right fielder number 3, Dylan Fritsch.
So, here we go. Runners at first and second.
As Baby Shark plays through the...
Yes. Fritsch will square to bunt. Pulls it back and will swing. Boy, he tried to knock somebody's head off. That's a good way to knock somebody's head off right there. You square to bunt, pull it back and line it.
I kind of like the idea.
It is a good idea. He probably wasn't happy with his walk-up song. He's going to take out some frustration on the ball.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised here if Coach Scott didn't have him sacrifice bunt up that first base side to get these runners over.
And the pitch is a breaking ball. Here's a throw down the third.
Oh.
The third baseman dropped the ball, or he would have had Quadrer like
Heading
nothing
to the dugout.
happening. Yes. Quadrer was beat by about 3 steps.
Well, he got a late jump on that one. I think he was a little bit confused on what the sign was going to be.
So it's 1 ball and a strike. Runners at second and third.
And see, I thought that pitch was a strike, so that actually works out in the Indians' favor.
And the 1-1 is a breaking ball lined into center field, a base hit. They're going to wave around Bennett from third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is offline, and Bennett will score on a base hit 2-run RBI from Dylan Fritsch.
That's beautiful position. He split the field right in half, hit it right up the second base side. Second baseman was in position, just couldn't make the catch, a little bit over the head. I think that had a lot to do with the wind blown out to center field. That's a beautiful play by the Indians to get this lead back 4-3 in the second inning. And you got to remember, there's no outs right now. We got a guy in scoring position at second base.
Yeah,
Great
Fritsch,
work.
yeah, Fritsch went down to second on the throw to home. But again, just doing his job, putting the ball in play. The Indians regain the lead, or their first lead actually, at 4-3.
Yeah, and I really like our chances now that we got the top of the lineup up.
And here's Carson Campbell, center fielder, was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. In his first plate appearance, and got ourselves a doozy here in Gas City already.
Yeah, it's really fun to have baseball back. We've been talking about it with the MLB lockout and everything. Just glad to have baseball back. That means spring's around here on the corner, hopefully without all this snow coming in the next 2 days. It's a good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, and here's a bunt from Campbell. The throw down to first is down the right field line. It will score Fritsch from second, and Campbell will go around second. Here's the throw to third, not in time. Campbell will reach third on an error. And a throw down the right field line.
I'm chalking that one up to Coach Scott. That's a great job to have him bunt because worst case, that throws over, he's out. We got a guy on third, 1 out. But with his speed, why not utilize the fastest player on this team and try to put the ball into the grass where that ball's not been rolling today and get him out in the races? Great job. Pitcher rushes it, overthrow, we get a run.
The Indians cooking with grease here in the bottom of the second as Holden Brown will step to the plate with a runner standing 90 feet away from scoring, and Holden Brown can make up for the error that he had back in the top half of this inning.
Yeah, and the Indians are right in the thick of their lineup, too, at the 2, 3, 4 due up.
Yeah, you got Brown, Bailey, and Rock, the next three batters. And now time is called. And a walk to the mound for head coach Jack Hawley.
I have a weird suspicion that the last team to bat here is going to win, so I feel like it's going to be maybe a Mississinewa victory.
Well, at some point this game's going to have to conclude before we go nighttime because there is no lights here at Atkinson Field, so we can't play, 5 hours of baseball like you see in the major leagues.
Yeah, and if we keep scoring like this, it's going to be an all-nighter.
Yeah. If we score like this, it'll be about a 3 or 4 inning game. It'll be called off because you won't be able to see. You'll either call the game off or you'll take one in the teeth. So everything's squared away out on the mound, and Dillon will step to the bump, and Brown set to receive the first pitch. And the pitch taken outside, ball 1.
Good eye. We could line the cars up around the stadium here and go ahead and get the headlights on, like back in the olden days.
Old-fashioned baseball.
Some kind of story like the Field of Dreams.
Hey, anything works for baseball. I love baseball.
Actually, the Chicago Cubs are playing at the Field of Dreams this year.
Yeah, along with the best team in baseball, the Cincinnati Reds. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Thought I'd mention that. I think the Yankees played there last year.
Yeah, we don't talk about the Yankees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here comes the pitch from Dillon to Holden Brown. It's a breaking ball, and it's a chopper down the third. It will score Campbell, and the ball to first base is not picked out of the dirt. It'll be an error by the third baseman, and Brown will reach first on the error. Mississinewa up 6-3, and so they've rallied for 4 runs here in the bottom half of the inning. That'll bring up the pitcher, Cohen Bailey, who has done an outstanding job on the mound.
I was going to say, that's not an error on the first baseman because it was a bad throw from the third baseman. I mean, he had to try to scoop it out of the gunk down there to get it.
Yeah, so you can't give that error to the first baseman. There's nothing he could have done about that.
And once again, I've said it once before, I'll say it again, really, really good position here for the Indians with no outs and a guy on first and have the lead in the count here 1-0.
If that had been Josh Dakin down there at first, I think it could have been picked out of the dirt, but.
Well, I don't know about all that. It's been a long time since I played first base.
Here's a throwback to first. Keeping Brown honest down there as he'll dive back safely. Boy, look at the wind just howling out to straightaway center field. We talked about it up here in the box. And if that ball gets hit out there, it's long, long gone probably.
It feels like it's a bunch of gusts.
Brown will take second base.
Still second base.
At times those flags are kind of sitting still, and then other times it looks like they're about to rip off the pole just because the wind's howling so hard.
See, they always say right time at the right place or wrong time, wrong place. Well, if you can hit one at the right time, that ball may, I've seen baseballs hit that I don't know have landed yet, so,
Oh, yeah, I've seen multiple baseballs in the woods here at Atkinson Field.
375 to straightaway center. Boy, that's deep for high school.
That's deep, but if you catch one with this downwind, you can play some chin music up there in the trees.
It's a 3-0 count to Cohen Bailey. And with a 3-run lead and a runner at second, I think I give Bailey the green light here on a fastball.
I think if it's right over the plate, absolutely. I also just noticed how green the grass is. That means we're just about to springtime.
Yeah,
look at this grass. It's beautiful, ain't it? This field just gets better every year.
Yeah, we're right around the corner from snow here on Saturdays, so.
I'm trying to look at the positives.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, it's positive. We're playing baseball. I'm excited, but a little bit of reality sets in come tomorrow and
Well, that reality
Saturday.
has nothing to do with how green the grass is.
Now there will be a conversation at the mound as Landry Rock will step to the plate for the Ole Miss Indians. A 6-3 lead here in the bottom half of the second inning. Mississinewa leading a Wabash. Obviously, Wabash 1-0 on the year after picking up a win back on March 30th, beating Wawasee 4-3 in what was a quality win for this Apache team. Andrew Dillon did the pitching in that game as well, and he did an outstanding job. I think he's done an outstanding job tonight. This, again, it's kind of the same problem Mississinewa had is defensively some errors. And there's a blooper into right field that will drop in a base hit. So the bases will be juiced, and that will load the bases for Keegan Williams.
So if I'm Coach Scott in this situation, I'm telling Keegan, you don't swing until you get a strike.
Absolutely.
Don't swing at a pitch in the dirt. Don't swing at a pitch outside. Do not swing until you get a pitch that you see right down the middle that you like. So I would take until you get a strike and then go from there. This is a great opportunity for Mississinewa to really blow the doors open on this game.
Looks like Wabash will probably go to the bullpen here as they will make a pitching change. It looks like they're going to bring in the hard-throwing lefty. We'll see if that's actually who's coming to the mound. And it is the lefty, Ashton Smith.
It's a tall drink of water.
On the mound for Wabash, number 10, Ashton Smith.
Ashton Smith, the tall drink of water from Wabash, Indiana here.
It's kind of got a weird delivery to the plate. You know, looking at this Wabash uniforms, it kind of reminds me of the old Washington National.
The Expos.
Yes, the Expo jerseys, just obviously different colors if you look at their logos. And it may have been, they stole it from them.
I think it's actually the same logo, just like the Mississinewa Indians logos, Miami, University of Ohio.
Yeah, well, we don't talk about that because, you know, nobody's ever heard of Miami of Ohio University. 6-3, Mississinewa leading over Wabash. Bottom half of the second that has lasted a lifetime.
Yes, it has, and we don't even have an out yet. That's something you got to think about as well. And I think this Mississinewa group's a little juiced up. The dugout, I'm starting to see some energy here that I haven't seen yet this year from the Mississinewa Indians. There wasn't much to cheer about in the last game against Adams Central.
Yeah, I got some music playing over the PA here, and down there at third base, Holden Brown was just dancing away. So,
yeah, we actually got us a decent crowd.
Yeah, you know, it is not warm by any means. I mean,
my thermostat's
there's been softball.
45
you know,
right
softball
now.
in the local area was canceled today over at Eastbrook. Just, you know,
So
weather.
canceled the game?
Yeah, the game was canceled. I think they actually postponed. Eastbrook was supposed to take on Norwell in softball action today. I think that game's been postponed to Monday. Do not take my word for that, but I do believe that they will make that game up on Monday.
Yeah, I know Eastbrook won their first baseball game. I couldn't tell you who they played, but they did pull out a decisive win. They're 1-0 on the season.
Boy, it's still
New coach this year.
Still kind of misting rain outside. It says it's 45, but it feels like it's about negative 45.
Well, I think with that wind, it's probably feeling about 35.
Here's
yeah,
Keegan Williams.
Slider's the new coach at Eastbrook, yeah. And he's doing a really good job with that group.
Here's a off-speed pitch. Taken inside for ball one.
Something to look forward to this year is going to be the Grant 4. We got a couple really good ball teams here in the county going to be competing. You got a much improved Eastbrook team.
Oak Hill didn't look bad the other night.
Oak Hill's really good. They 10-run ruled Madison Grant last night. And, of course, Mississinewa is steady as always, so this will be interesting to see. Madison Grant's got a first-year head coach as well.
I want to congratulate the Eastbrook softball team and Coach Harold Coates on picking up a win back, I believe that was 2 nights ago, beating Bluffton 17-3. So congratulations to Coach Coates and the Lady Panthers. Here's an infield, a fly ball in the infield that is caught So Williams will fly out to the first baseman for the first out. That'll bring up the third baseman, Greg O'Banion. So with the bases juiced here, Josh, you got to get at least one run in.
Yeah, I would think you'd have to get at least one run with the bases loaded and only one out. I think anything put into play on the ground is going to score a run potentially.
Yeah, Brown runs pretty well down at third. And here's a
That's gonna
ball
do it.
that will get into the gap to short. The throw to first is not in time. Greg O'Banion beats it out as the ball was kind of in the hole there, and it was a good play by the shortstop, but an RBI single for Greg O'Banion.
That's almost about the furthest ball you could hit in the infield. It was into the far corner of the shortstop, and it was kind of one of those in-between balls where does the third baseman or does the shortstop get it? Shortstop happened to get it, but by that time couldn't make the play at first.
One out, bases juiced for the catcher, Carter Burton. Here's a fastball taken outside. 1 ball and a strike. Seven to 3, Mississinewa with a 4-run lead, scoring 5 so far here in this bottom half of the second inning.
2-0 count, only 1 out.
If I'm Carter Burton, I'm sitting dead red on a fastball right in the center of the plate. He's capable of probably jacking one out of here.
I personally wouldn't be swinging myself.
And another fastball low. 3 balls and no strikes. And the pitcher, Smith, is messing with fire here.
Yeah, he's out of sorts early here, but he also took over a really tough situation with
Yeah,
bases loaded.
it's hard at any level of baseball to come in bases loaded, no outs. Now there's 1 out, which he was able to get an out on the fly out from Keegan Williams. And the 3-0 pitch is a fastball that was probably ball 4, swung on and missed by Carter Burton.
And that just proves my ideology of don't swing on a 3-0 count. That was a little outside. It looked a little low. I was thinking that's probably going to be a ball. Nonetheless, though, it's 3-1. You're still ahead.
Right there, Burton just sitting dead red on a fastball, and he threw a changeup. And now it's a full count, and Burton probably could have had a walk, but now he's got himself in protect mode on a full count.
Now, this is where you got to choke up and battle.
The Indians have batted around in this inning.
Yeah, yes, they have. And Burton has choked up on the bat a little bit here. Going to try to just put one in play with only 1 out.
This one is in the dirt. Ball 4. And the pitcher, Bailey, will walk in, touch home plate, and the Indians will extend the lead to 8-3. That'll bring up left fielder, number 12, Luke Bennett. And now the courtesy runner for Carter Burton will be Nolan Quadrer again here in the inning.
I don't know if I mentioned, I really like these jerseys Mississinewa is wearing today in honor of Coach Atkinson.
Yeah, speaking of Coach Atkinson, it's hard for us to not honor him on opening day here, or the home opener for the Mississinewa Indians, and what Coach Atkinson was able to do for Mississinewa baseball as a player, as a coach, and as an athletic director. Man, what a great guy.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be a thing. It's unfortunate with the circumstances we have to honor him for, but in my opinion, he should be a guy that we honor every year for his accomplishments on and off the field, and with everything that he's done for Mississinewa, I think he should be honored every year no matter what, in my opinion.
Yes, and I think
Honorary
from
game.
yeah, and I think from here on out you will see this happen, as long as Coach Mike Scott is the head coach at least.
Absolutely. I think it's great to see.
Here's the pitch, well outside, but a swing and a miss by Luke Bennett, and I think right now the Indians are they're all wanting to get a piece of the action, and they're swinging at bad pitches.
Some of the guys are getting delusions of grandeur at the moment. They need to just settle in there, watch it cross the plate, get a good pitch, and then turn on it.
And there's a breaking ball. High in the zone. It's 1 ball and a strike to Luke Bennett.
Good eye.
So it's a ball, 1 strike, 1 out, bases juiced. The The 1-1 pitch, well outside. 2 balls and a strike, and I don't swing if I'm Bennett unless he just comes in there with a cookie right over the middle of the plate.
Well, and honestly, with being up 8-3, I don't see why you don't take on every pitch until you see a strike at this point for the rest of the game. You got a fair lead here. Wait until he throws you a pitch.
This ball is tagged out to left field. Rock will tag from third. He will score easily on an RBI sacrifice fly to left field from Bennett. The Indians extend the lead to 9-3, and that'll bring up the right fielder, number 3, Dylan Fritsch.
And really, that's all he had to do is put the ball in play, get a run in. Once again, get him on, get him over, get him in. Indians are doing that. Guy on first and second now.
Runners first and second, as you said. O'Banion at second, Quadra at first. And the pitch to Fritsch is outside, ball 1. 9-3, Mississinewa leads it here. Bottom of the second inning. Dalton Bishop alongside Josh Dakin.
It's good to get the team back, right?
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've done baseball.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be back in the broadcast booth here at Atkinson Field on I would like to say a beautiful day for baseball, but every day is a beautiful day for baseball. It's cold, but, man, baseball is just a great sport.
Well, and with coaching golf, it's tough to get over here to some of these games. Thankfully, we had practice at the high school today due to weather, so it's just a short little walk over here to the baseball field.
Yes. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 on. And a swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Reaching for that one. And this is the first count pitcher's had up, Kind of been battling behind the whole time, and now he's finally got a lead.
Here's the 1-2 to Fritsch. This one just missed the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 out, 2 on, and a 6-run Ole Miss lead.
And now the wind's kind of died down, and the sun's trying to pop out of the clouds here.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Fritsch. This one fouled off.
And as you mentioned earlier, talking about that 9-pitch at bat, this is where you got to just put the ball in play. You got to keep battling until you find your pitch. If it's close, you swing, try to make contact, get it fouled, and continue to battle.
Boy, Fritsch gets on base here. And Wabash has got to just be, it's got to be a demoralizing feeling. As here's a fly ball down the right field line to get out of play. Because if you get to the top of the order again, look out. If you get to the top of the order, which would be the next batter in Carson Campbell, you'll have Campbell, Brown, and Bailey, the 1-2-3 batters.
And that's the punch you don't want up if you're Wabash.
Here's the 2-2 again to Fritsch, and this one again fouled off. So a quality at bat by the Indian right fielder.
It's all about patience and poise, and right now that's what Fritsch is showing. I've always come to think that the longer an at-bat happens, the advantage goes to the hitter instead of the pitcher, I think.
Yes, because eventually the pitcher's just going to get frustrated, and he'll either throw one way out of the zone or he'll leave one right over the heart of the plate.
Well, and after so many pitches, I mean, it's a new pitcher. You're timing him up. You're figuring him out. You're going to find that pitch you want, and you're going to take it like that. Ooh, just foul.
Oh, just foul on a
That
ball.
ball stays fair. That scores 2, and he's got an easy double.
Yes.
I mean, that's about as close as you can get to the line and not be fair as you can get.
That ball was right on the bag. Just foul. I mean, you could have, I don't know. You couldn't have fit a penny in between that.
No, you couldn't.
and
It
the
almost
foul
rolled
line.
over the back.
And again, the 2-2 pitch. 2 on, 2 out. And the pitch. Breaking ball. Just missed.
And that's a really good call. It's not where the ball's caught. It's where the ball crosses. And that ball crossed high. And Coach Scott's doing a really good job of kind of playing a cat and mouse game on second base. He's got O'Banion kind of shuffling around. The pitcher's more worried about second base than he is home plate right now.
The 3-2 pitch. Runners go. And the pitch is fouled off the leg. And we'll try it again. This has got to be pitch number 10 or 11 of the at-bat.
Yes, and by rule, ball's dead once it hits the batter. So we continue. Yeah, it looked like it went right off his leg foot area.
Quality at bat here by Fritsch. About the 11th pitch of the at bat coming to the plate. It's a fly ball in the air to center field. It's in trouble, and the center fielder will run in and make the grab. And the 45-minute second inning will come to an end. The Indians score 6 runs in the bottom half of the inning. They lead it 9-3. We head to the top half of the inning. In just a few moments, you're watching Indians Baseball on the Tribe Sports Network. And welcome back to Rick Atkinson Field here on the campus of Mississinewa High School. Mississinewa leading 9-3. We get set to start things here in the top half of the third, and stepping up to the plate is the center fielder, number 11, Justin Booth.
I wanted to mention that last at bat, that ball would usually fly to about second base, but with the wind where it's at, that ball blew all the way out to center field and ended up making it a fairly easy catch there for Wabash.
First pitch to Booth was taken strike one, and now if you're Cohen Bailey with a 6-run lead, just come over the plate with a strike every time.
Wouldn't it be nice to get a 3-up, 3-down?
Well, he should have had back-to-back innings of 3-up, 3-downs, and just errors have killed this Indian team.
Well, I think right now errors have plagued both teams. Almost like the bubonic plague.
I don't know if it's quite that bad, but the 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed on a nice cut. And Bailey ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cohen Bailey has done an outstanding job on the mound. I've just been very impressed with him ever since last season as a freshman. And a nice breaking ball, just missing high. Bailey, and again, here's what's amazing about Bailey is baseball's a tough sport. So to come in as a freshman and pitch in a varsity game, that's one thing, and to do it well is another. And he did that last season, and now coming in as a sophomore, has high expectations for himself, and has done a great job here tonight.
Well, I've always been told you get out what you put in, and he plays year-round. He plays travel ball. He's getting out what he's putting in. He's putting in a lot of effort, a lot of hard work, and it's showing right here today.
Here's a 3-2 pitch lined to right field, and the wind almost got a hold of that one as Fritsch had to jump off of 2 feet and make the catch.
Well, I think either way the wind got a hold of that one. There's no way that ball should have sailed kind of like it did, and it just kept going. It didn't look like it was ever going to come out of the sky.
So that'll bring up the second baseman, number 3, Jared Brooks.
I'm going to say this kid's got some speed to him. He's a similar build to Carson Campbell.
Yeah, it looks very similar. I think this was who was thrown out at third back in the first.
I think this is a kid where you just want him to make contact, and there's a good chance he's going to be getting to first base.
As there was a pitch taken right down Broadway, strike 1 by Cohen Bailey. The umpire did not hesitate. He just rung him up right away, strike 1.
And I'd say so far both these umpires have done a great job here. This umpire behind the plate has called nothing but a beauty so far.
No balls and a strike. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Nice pitch by Cohen Bailey. this kid will be playing at the next level, Cohen Bailey. I truly, truly believe that Cohen Bailey will be playing college baseball.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind.
Fastball just off the black. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now, what position he might play in college, I have no idea. I mean, I think he could pitch, but, I mean, there's going to be a position for him somewhere out there. You can't let that kind of talent go.
Yeah, Cohen's just a very skilled baseball player. And here's a ground ball to the shortstop, Rock. The throw to first too high. In the 4th error of the game. And now the 5th on the throw down to second. And again, Cohen Bailey, a potential to get a 1-2-3 third inning, havocked by errors.
Yeah, and that's the second time this game where a ball's kind of sailed from shortstop, third base area over the head of the first baseman. So I don't know if it's kind of the configuration of the diamond or if it's just the wind.
And you can see the look on Bailey's face. He's just frustrated because he's made the pitches that he's needed to make. He's just not getting the help defensively.
I'm chalking it up to the second game of the season for the overthrow and all the other errors between both these teams.
So there was a pitch there fouled off out of play. No balls and a strike. And Bailey will step back on the rubber. No balls and a strike, 1 out. Runner at second base. And the runner will head down to third. He'll reach third safely, so.
Just eat it. That was a good decision. You got a 6-run lead. Don't flirt with it going to 5 by trying to pick off a guy at third and it goes over the head. Good job to just eat it and move on.
Nine to 3. We still want the lead. And again, if this runner scores, then you cannot charge it to Bailey because it should have been an out.
Yeah.
If somehow, some way, Bailey gets out of this ball game without giving up a run, and you look at the scoreboard and see that there's 4 or 5 runs on the board, you just gotta, if you're Cohen Bailey, just shake your head, and you could have had a shutout here if it wasn't for errors.
Very much so.
He's pitched very, very well, and I know we sound like a broken record, and we've said it 100 times, but he really, really has.
Well, one thing I've noticed is his control is really, really good. He seems to be hitting the spots with no problem at all. He doesn't seem to have to really work to hit his spot. Like you said, it's errors that have really plagued the team, not anything to do with the way he's pitching. I mean, he's give up how many base hits? 1 or 2, so.
I think he's realistically, has only given up 1 base hit, and we can check. I don't know that he's really given up very many hits. We're going to check. And nice breaking ball. Caught looking. Strike 3 called.
I'll tell you what, that's the worst feeling in baseball when you get caught looking.
I mean, from where you're – and yeah, so we just confirmed that Cohen Bailey has not given up a hit yet.
So I was way off track. I was
no hits, but
2.
he's issued 3 walks, but the only reason the runners have scored have been on errors.
Problem is, though, those 3 walks don't look great, but the errors look even worse. So.
Foul ball straight back.
And we've got a tally on errors for the Indians. We've counted 4.
Wow. That's, I mean, you take those 4 errors off the board, and it's 9-0.
4 errors, 3 walks, no hits, and you're up by 6. I'd say that's a pretty good do of it here so far.
Yeah, and again, for the second game of the season and to see a sophomore pitcher on another nice-looking breaking ball, like 2, but as a sophomore in your second game of the season, to look like you've been pitching for 25 years, that's incredible.
Do you happen to know who started for the Indians
other
night
out? Yeah, Keegan Williams. Here's another breaking
Gotcha.
ball, a ground ball to third. Here's O'Banion. He'll throw over to first, and the ball in the dirt. And it'll be the 5th error of the game on the Indians. And again, as a pitcher that has pitched so well, Cohen Bailey, you've just got to be frustrated.
And you've still yet to give up a base hit.
There's been 4 runs scored on 5 errors.
And I don't know if it's something just with being early in the season, but that is the 4th throw between the 2 teams from shortstop or third base that has even one hopped to first base or over the head. So clearly got to dial in here early on in the season still.
Yeah, and again, this is nothing that Cohen Bailey has done. So these 4 runs are all on errors. I know that we've bragged on Cohen, but he's done a great job on the mound. And again, he's got a bright future as a Mississinewa Indian baseball player. He's still got 2 more years after this year. He pitched last year as a freshman. He's pitching this year as a sophomore. My goodness, if you just, like I said, he plays travel baseball, and like you brought up a great point, you get out of it what you put into it. And Cohen is a kid that works entirely, so hard. He spends a lot of his time focusing on baseball, and you can see the results of it here.
Absolutely.
It'll be exciting to watch him the next couple of years.
Yes, this team's going to be fun to watch all year, I think.
Here's the 1-1, and a pitch inside. 2 balls and a strike with 2 down and runner at second.
I see some things in this team that just have that special quality, like that zing or that jazz, that just meshes really well together. They seem to really like being around each other. I think this team could be really dangerous in the conference this year for the Grant 4, and even maybe in the sectional.
I would agree with that. And here's another pitch fouled off on a fastball right down Broadway as Bailey brought the heat on that one.
Because it looks like a team where if they gain a little bit of confidence, they're going to run with it. They didn't play so well in the first game, and all of a sudden they just threw that one in the trash can and came back, and they're looking like a whole different team here tonight.
If you can clean up the things defensively, this team is
solid,
pretty dominant on paper. Oh my, a 2-2 fastball just missed inside.
And the umpire was super close to getting the ring going on the ring up there. He started to kind of sway into his position. He was trying to decipher what he was going to call.
I believe the count is actually 3-1, and Bailey thought there was 2 strikes. So I believe it's a 3-1 count.
Okay, I guess I must have been mistaken too, because
here is a fly ball into shallow left field. In on the run is Bennett, who dives after it. And the ball drops. The throw into second is not in time. So the first base hit of the game scores a run from second. It's 9-5. And that was a great effort by the left fielder, Bennett, who had to charge hard. Made a great effort to try to come up with it, but nonetheless just was too far back, and the ball dropped in.
And that will be scored as a hit.
Yes.
Because it was not a dropped ball. The ball landed before he could get there. That's going to be scored as a hit, and that's going to be Bailey's first hit given up.
Yeah, and again, it wasn't really a hard hit ball.
It was one of those balls that would have just blooped over third base kind of into shallow left, and it worked its way all the way out to middle left field. These outfielders are playing deep because of the wind, just couldn't get to it in time.
14 runs scored between the two teams, and we're not even all the way through the third inning. A high-scoring baseball game here this afternoon.
I saw a score the other night. Blackford was playing somebody, and they were down 16-3 early on in the game and ended up winning the game 21-17.
Here's a ball in the right center field gap on a diving catch by Carson Campbell. What a catch by the center fielder who ran all the way from the right center field gap to end the top half of the third inning. And what a great way to help out your pitcher. Top half of the third comes to a close. Wabash does score 2 runs, and the Indians lead at 9-5. They come to bat in the bottom half of the inning. You're watching Indians baseball on the Tribe Sports Network. Mississinewa High School as we get set for the bottom half now of the third inning. And who better to lead off the inning than the one who ended the top half on an outstanding play? Here's Carson Campbell, the center fielder.
Yeah, and I'll say something that Dick Vitale always says. That was the diaper dandy, you know it? That was a beautiful play. Beautiful play.
Here's a fly ball down the left field line. It slices fouling out of play.
I mean, that might be one of the plays of the season. I know we're only game 2 and there's a lot to go, but that was impressive.
That's a Sports Center top 10.
Has to be.
I mean, there's just no question about it.
I can hear Dick Vitale on Sports Center right now talking about it.
Well, look, Dick Vitale is
It's unbelievable,
He's a
baby.
basketball announcer, okay? Dick Vitale. He's one of the best.
Yeah, that's like Dan Shulman calling a game on ESPN.
I think the one of the better announcers today. Here's a fly ball to center field. Looks routine, and it is, as Campbell flies out to center field. But as I said, I think one of the best announcers to this day right now is Spiro Ditas. I like Spiro Ditas. He's just got a lot of energy to him, and Andrew Catalan does a good job.
I think when you're talking baseball, though, John Chamby is maybe the best play-by-play we got, or Jason Benetti, the White Sox play-by-play. Really, really good.
And I know you're going to say it's only because I'm a Reds fan, but Tommy Thrall, who does the Reds radio, if you haven't listened to him, I encourage you to check him out because he does do a good job.
Yeah?
I'm not saying he's the best, but he does a good job. Tom Brenneman was a great announcer. Kind of got hosed on that deal, but here is a 0-1 pitch that missed high. That's 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out to the second baseman, Holden Brown.
Due up next, Cohen Bailey. And then after that, Landry Rock.
Here's a breaking ball. It's a fly ball to right field, and backing up and making the grab was the right fielder, Colton Learned, and that was a nice catch. So 2 down in the inning. Here's Cohen Bailey.
Wabash has a chance at a 3-up, 3-down inning here, which would be the first of the game, mind you. First pitch, swung on, missed. Just a bit outside on that pitch. Swung and a miss, though. The Wild Thing.
The
Major
Wild
League,
Thing.
the movie.
It's a great movie.
One of the best baseball movies ever created. Rookie of the Year is really good as well.
Absolutely it is. There's so many good
Sandlot,
sports movies.
Field of Dreams, Moneyball.
Here is the 1-1
Bad News
pitch.
Bears.
And here's a lined drive base hit into center field. Cohen Bailey set all over that one. Boy, that one launched off the bat for a base hit for Cohen Bailey.
That's the definition of a frozen rope.
Boy, it was hit.
Almost like a torpedo out of a ship. Just absolutely beautiful. Right over the second baseman.
Yeah, that ball
Well,
was,
right over second base, I should say.
the ball was a nice rope by Cohen Bailey. Here is the first pitch to Landry Rock, taken outside.
We got
Ball
2
one.
outs, 1-0 count, guy on first. 9-5, bottom of the third. We're about half the way through this contest.
And at this rate, I don't know, we'll get all the way through the allotted innings we were supposed to play.
6:38, the darkness will set in around what, 8 o'clock, 7:45?
Yeah,
Plays you can play.
I'd say within the next 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh, I don't think it'll be quite that early. Maybe so, though, with it being cloudy at least.
And the pitch in the dirt, ball 2.
That's why if you don't have a field with lights, you almost have to start the game at 4:30 or 4. Problem is, a lot of schools in this area don't get out until 3:30. Mississinewa is one of the few schools that actually start at 7:30 in the morning.
The Indians do have a right-hander up and throwing in the bullpen.
Can't see who it is. Submariner.
Looks like it could be Todd Bernius.
I'd say that's probably a good guess.
3-0 count here to Landry Rock.
And that it
The
is.
senior football commit headed to Hanover.
And he's going to do really well there at Hanover. I really do think so.
I agree. He was kind of robbed out of his senior season with a torn ACL. It's incredible to see his recovery, to be back for baseball.
Absolutely. And it's a beautiful campus down there, too. I was able to visit the campus one time. It's really, really nice. It's kind of almost down in the middle of the wilderness. Really nice.
So now, at the plate, looks like it is Keegan Williams. And the pitch taken in there for strike one.
It is Keegan Williams. It is a little tough, though, with everybody wearing 21, unless you actually know the kids. It's tough to kind of decipher who they are.
Yes.
With everybody wearing the same number tonight.
It's for a great reason, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Large lead down at first for Landry Rock. A short lead at second base for Cohen Bailey. A look back at the runners. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike two. Ashton Smith has done a good job on the mound since coming in for the Apaches.
Choke up here and protect. Try to extend this out. Be patient. Find your pitch.
If you didn't catch it earlier, the Chicago Cubs did beat the Milwaukee Brewers on opening day 5-4.
And last time we checked, St. Louis Cardinals up 4-zip.
So the NL Central could be tough this year. And the throw down to third, almost went down the left field line on a diving grab by Trevor Daughtery, who probably saved 2 runs.
And it's interference, and Keegan Williams is going to be out. It was interference with the catcher and the third baseman. That's a good call. The rule is he's got to have line of sight, the catcher to the third baseman. Williams got right in the way of the throw, and that is going to be an out.
So at the end of 3 innings of play, it is the Mississinewa Indians 9, the Wabash Apaches 5. Top half of the fourth coming up next. You're watching Indians Baseball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Atkinson Field as the rain picks back up again. 9-5. Indians leading the Apaches. Cohen Bailey back out for his 4th inning of work. And the first pitch is a ground ball to the shortstop. Fielded by Rock for error, number 6 on a bobble.
And he threw it over the head, too. Keegan had to climb the ladder to catch that one.
Just shakes his head.
Well, I wasn't quite sure what Rock was trying to do on the transition. Almost like tried to throw it up, catch it, and then throw it. Instead of the transition from the mitt to the hand, I wasn't quite sure what was happening on that. And the ball might have been wet rolling through that grass as it's raining, so it might have just been a slippery transition.
And Bailey picks off the runner at first on the throw over as Bailey just helps himself out.
I haven't
Holy
seen that in a while.
cow. That was a rocket down to first. Picked off Jason Tate. And now a fastball on the inside corner, strike 1. What a rocket of a throw to first.
Well, that's a way to get back on top. That's not how you probably thought about doing it, but that's how it happened.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, there's been 3 really good defensive plays by the Indians, even with all the errors. You know, the diving catch by Carson, the crazy second base snag by Brown, and then the pickoff there by Bailey. Oh, that's right, and Cohen at that bunt to the third base side.
Yes.
Forced out a third.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and we could potentially get a 1-2-3 inning on the pickoff there. And here's a breaking ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of the 4th inning.
Cohen's still in the lead of this count here. If he can get a good pitch here, you can still get a little brave and try to get him to chase here on the 2-2.
Just nearing 7 o'clock Eastern time, and strike 3 called on a nice pitch from Cohen Bailey.
That might have been his best pitch of the night.
Just right there, like you talked about, right at the bottom of the zone, a fastball. Locked up the batter, Daughtry. And now it brings up.
He's really working the bottom half of that plate.
Brings up Andrew Dillon. Wow. If we had a Player of the Game award, you got to give it to Cohen Bailey. I know, and again, it's not been a lack of effort from everyone else because the rest of the Indians have played solid. But again, I mean, just what he's done has been just impressive.
I would say it's a toss-up between him and Campbell right now.
He's re-entering his bat for Smith, and I assume Smith will.
But no, I do agree Bailey's done a great job, but I still think that Carson has at least got to be in that conversation for Player of the Game.
Has to be.
I mean with the diving catch,
yeah, I
he's
would
been
agree.
on base.
I would agree. Yes.
Nonetheless, though, multiple players for the Indians are playing well today.
Yes.
Batting for Wabash.
It's easy to pinpoint the pitcher because they're involved in every single play. But, yeah, I would agree. Carson Campbell has done a good job. And here's a fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. And you look out to center field there, or in the outfield in general, and you just see the outfielders kind of jumping back and forth, trying to stay warm. It is cold. It's windy. Rain's falling.
Well, and I think there's a lot of adjusting due to the wind. When the wind picks up, they back up a little bit. When the wind dies down, they're moving up a little bit. They're really trying to get – these are, I feel like, are the toughest games when there's a little bit of mist, the wind's going haywire. It's just really tough to get a good read out there on the field.
Bailey ahead in the count. 0-2, looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the game. And the fastball in the dirt, ball 1.
He's really commanded the zone here the last 2 innings.
He's done a great job. He's settled down and just done what he needs to do and not worried about anything else. 1-2 the count to Dillon. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a line drive into left center field. Bennett, a diving grab in left field, makes the catch. Back-to-back innings with back-to-back diving plays to end the inning. The Indians still lead it 9-5. Bottom half of the 4th comes up next.
Plays
You're watching Indians Baseball on the Tribe Sports Network. And welcome back to Mississinewa High School. Atkinson Field at the bottom half of the fourth inning. Stepping to the plate for the Indians will be Greg O'Banion, as there's a new pitcher for Wabash, and it is former first baseman Shaden Beeks on the mound, and he delivers a first pitch in the dirt, ball one, and it is a 1-0 count
Yeah, and speaking of
to
that
Greg
double
O'Banion.
catch, that was a diaper dandy.
Here is the 1-0 pitch to O'Banion. Catches the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Did it get what I just said? No, gosh darn it. You didn't have that.
1 ball, 1 strike here to Greg O'Banion. Here comes the 1-1. And that's a breaking ball in the dirt.
And speaking of that last play there to end the inning, I mean, we want to talk about Carson Campbell's catch being a diaper dandy. That Luke Bennett catch is, I think, maybe even more impressive than that one. That's definitely the diaper dandy.
That might be the super duper diaper
I was
dandy.
going to say, that might get the crown to the kingdom.
It's a 2-1 count here to Greg O'Banion. Or 3-1, rather. 3-1. Mississinewa Math treating me well, as there's a foul ball off the handle on a check swing.
Well, we got a bulb out on the board.
Full count. Right-hander back up and throwing again in the Indian bullpen. It is Todd Bernius. He pitched on Tuesday, did a great job. Here's the full count pitch in the dirt. And O'Banion will draw the walk. And that'll bring up the catcher, Carter Burton.
Back when we played, we called that one a worm burner. That one just kind of bounces off the turf there.
Back when we play. Hey, I remember my only home run in my baseball career. as a pitcher was to this guy right here,
You
Josh
mean the
Dakin.
only home run
Yeah,
you
the only
give
one
up?
I gave up,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Unbelievable. See, and I just knew that we were good friends, so I was trying to give you an early birthday present.
Well, I appreciate that.
So
My
I just
birthday
left it
wasn't
over.
for another 9 months, but I appreciate it.
Well, that's my way of paying you. You know, I just kind of wanted to put the ball over the middle of the plate, give you one of those, here you go, buddy, for your birthdays, and
I appreciate that.
you never did hit another one off me.
That's true. That never did happen.
Anyway, the 0-1 count is swung on. It's a fly ball, shallow center field. The shortstop will go out and make the grab for out number 1.
Fly ball caught.
Shortstop makes catch.
And stepping up to the plate now is the left fielder, Luke Bennett, who made an outstanding diving grab out there in left field to end the top half of the 4th.
That is a tongue twister, so I'll give you a little bit of grief on that one.
Kind of like how much could a woodchuck, well, yeah, I don't even know it. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
1 out, 9-5, and O'Banion will take the lead off of first. And here's a foul ball way out of play.
That's got a windshield's name all over it.
We call that the hey, everybody said they always wanted to take home a souvenir from a baseball game. Why not just take one right out of the windshield?
You used to be able to return to the concession stand for a free piece of bubble gum.
Yeah, nowadays, that bubble gum will cost you $75 instead of cents. Here's a breaking ball. Nice pitch in there for strike 2. The ball's 2 strikes, 1 out. There is a 9-5 Mississinewa lead. 0-2 count, 1 out. Runner on first. Here's the 0-2 pitch on its way to Luke Bennett. Fastball taken high, ball 1. Delivered some high cheese there was Beeks. Turned up the dial and hummed it on in there.
Beeks is commanding the zone earlier. He's did a really good job since being put into the pitching spot.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. To the plate. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is out number 2.
Strike out, second out of the inning.
That was a foul tip there back into the catcher's mitt. That ball had some real movement on it.
And here's Dylan Fritsch, the right fielder.
That had a little English on it, like you'd almost see a basketball spun off the glass.
What a coincidence. Both wearing Indiana Hoosiers hoodies. No, we're not talking about Hoosiers basketball. We're talking about the ranked Hoosiers baseball team.
They're having a great start to the season.
Here's a swing and a miss on some high cheese from Beeks.
Best team in the Big Ten here, at least early on.
Well,
Conference play.
See, now he's talking crazy. But anyway, no balls and a strike to Fritsch.
Well, usually in baseball, you get like Michigan, Nebraska, Indiana at the top when it comes to baseball. I think those are kind of the 3 premier teams that, at least from the baseball I've watched in the Big Ten, I'd say those are probably the 3 best in my opinion.
Yeah, then I think of the NL Central, and I think of the Reds at the top. So, we all can dream. 1 ball, 1 strike, and a pitch up and in on Fritsch, and he's hit by the pitch.
Hit him right in his dome. Literally the crown of the helmet.
And that takes us to the top of the order, and here's Carson Campbell.
2 outs. Brings up top of the order, center fielder number 1, Carson Campbell.
Hey, get on base however you can. If that means taking one for the team, take one for the team.
Remember, back in the heyday, if you didn't take one, boy, your teammates would give it to you. Wear it! And I think they still do it from time to time. Runners at first and second. Here's the pitch to Campbell. It's a fly ball out to right field. The right fielder will make the grab, and that will retire the side. At the end of 4 innings of play, it's the Mississinewa Indians 9, the Wabash Apaches 5. Top half of the 5th coming up next. You're watching Indians Baseball on the Tribe Sports Network. And welcome back to Rick Atkinson Field here on Mississinewa High School. And the Indians went to the bullpen, and as they bring in the submarine throwing Todd Bernius, who pitched on Tuesday, did a great job. So 4 innings of work for Cohen Bailey. It was a great 4 innings, but we'll see what Mr. Bernius can do here. And Josh, I know you've got some score updates for us.
Yeah. Speaking of different sports around the world today, we got the Masters starting
Probably
today, and we got
sport on earth.
MLB baseball back in action today. We got one score in the book for baseball. Let's quickly jump to golf. Sung J M leading at 5 under. His round is complete, and then you got Cameron Smith, Dustin Johnson.
Now our viewers are asleep
at 4
home.
under after 16 holes. So that's a good start to the Masters. You look at the MLB around the league here. As you mentioned earlier, the Chicago Cubs beat the Milwaukee Brewers 5-4. The Royals beat the Cleveland Guardians 3-1. St. Louis Cardinals are up over the Pirates 5-0 after 7. Mets and Nationals 0-0. This game is currently delayed due to weather. You got 3 games tonight: the Padres and the Diamondbacks, Astros and Angels, and the Reds and Braves at 8 o'clock on ESPN2.
All righty. Thank you, sir. There's the first pitch in there for a strike to Justin Booth, I believe. And here's another pitch outside. Ball 1. It's a 1-1 count to Justin Booth.
It's going to take some getting used to say the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah, well,
I almost didn't realize that was a baseball team when I was looking down. I was like, it's the Cleveland Guardians, not the Cleveland Indians anymore.
Yeah, it's a subject for a different day. And here's a ground ball to the shortstop, Rock. He fields it cleanly. The throw to first is in time, and he retires the first batter. Cohen Bailey did move over to first base.
And that rhythm looks so much better on the flow. The flow was so much better. Was able to field it, get into his step nicely, was able to throw a line drive to first. And I feel like Todd here is going to be a ground ball hitter. He throws that weird ball. Looks like it's got a little bit of weird spin on it. That ball's just going to go straight to the ground.
Yeah, Todd Bernius. I think he pitched just an inning the other night and did not give up a run. So
reminds me a lot of Carlos Marmol.
The only difference is Mr. Bernius does not give up a lot of runs, and Carlos Marmol was like batting practice. Here's another ground ball to the shortstop, Rock. He fields it cleanly again, almost a nice scoop by Bailey.
That's going to be coined an error by Rock. That was a tough throw, though. Off balance, foot forward. That's a tough throw to make when you're falling away from first base. Momentum was against him. Physics was against him on that one.
Yeah, coming from a history teacher, huh?
Newton's third law of gravity on that one.
Now we're getting out of my now we're getting out of my vocabulary. You guys are talking something real crazy.
We're talking physics.
Yeah, well, I couldn't even tell you what I did yesterday, let alone tell you about physics.
Well, the beauty of that is all you got to do is announce the baseball game, so 1 out, right?
And sometimes I don't really do that very well. Anyway, we'll talk about that a different time when nobody can hear us. There's 1 out here in the top half of the 5th. Runner on first. And here is Blake Smith. Bernius to the plate. Right in there. Nice looking pitch.
Check swing, and he went.
He froze the runner, Smith. He just stood there and then looked at the dugout and just was like, what was that?
That almost looked like an off speed because he had him out in front there.
Kind of. I'll tell you, I wish Bernius could throw a knuckleball because it would be absolutely nasty. Here's another ground ball to the shortstop, Rock. The throw to first is a nice snag by the first baseman, Bailey, who makes an outstanding play to tag out Blake Smith, and that'll bring up right fielder Colton Learned.
So Rock is trying to calibrate that throw. He's got to hit all 4. Got to hit a top, got to hit a side, got to hit a side, got to hit the bottom. Now he's calibrated. He's got all the sides, top and low out of the way. We're ready to go now.
It looks like, okay, it is learned. I thought they were bringing in a pinch hitter. It's going to be learned still. And Bernius has come in and pitched really well. But I was saying, I wish Bernius could throw a knuckleball, kind of like an R.A. Dickey knuckleball. It'd be impossible to hit Bernius.
R.A. Dickey was a really good pitcher, not because of the velocity in which he threw, but the movement on the ball. Tim Wakefield would be one very similar as well, I think, of when you talk about that. Very tough to hit a kind of pitch like that. That looked like it was all over the zone, too.
It did. I'll tell you, what I've noticed with Todd Bernius on the mound is the hitters have just not looked comfortable up there.
They're almost second-guessing every time he throws a pitch.
It's got a weird angle when the ball is released, and it's just right in there for a strike. There's 2 balls and a strike here.
It's something I've seen 4 innings into the game now, into the 5th, is the umpire is favoring the lower half of the zone compared to the upper half, and he's also favoring the outside compared to the inside. So as in a pitcher, you have to adjust to that. Right on the nosy, there's a low outside pitch that hit the corner. Strike number 2.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at third. 9-5. Indian lead with a 4-point run advantage. And the 2-2 is up and in.
About got the handle of the bat on that one.
He was letting Learn know that you're not going to crowd the plate.
Got some speed on third base as well. Almost looked like he was going to take off to steal home with that slow delivery of
I
Todd.
don't know that would be the best of ideas. Here's the 3-2 pitch. On its way from Bernius, and just missed.
Coach Scott's not thrilled about that call.
And, yeah, I seen everybody on the field just kind of drop their heads like, oh, my.
Well, we just talked about how he's favoring that outside corner. That one was more inside than the pitch 2 pitches ago he called a strike, and this one he leaves to a ball.
Yeah. That I don't know. That was a beautiful pitch by Todd Bernius.
You couldn't draw it up any better. You couldn't have went and dropped it there any better.
This one laced down the left field line and well foul. I'd like to see Bernius come in here with kind of a breaking ball because he was well out in front of a fastball. Boy, you come in there and drop a breaking ball in there, and that will probably, boy, he'll swing out of his shoes.
You're all over that breaking ball tonight, and about every time you said so, they've thrown it. So the pitcher Beeks is up to plate here.
See, look, great minds think alike. You know, I'm up here telling them when to throw the break, and they throw it. It's a good pitch.
You might also have delusions of grandeur.
Well, there's a fastball. Fielded by O'Banion down at third. The throw to first is in time, and Bernius gets out of the inning. Bottom half of the inning coming up next. And the Indians still with a 4-run lead at 9-5. Welcome back to Atkinson Field, campus of Mississinewa High School. Bottom of the fifth. Set to begin. 9-5. Mississinewa still with the lead. As here's Holden Brown, the second baseman. He'll step in to lead things off here in the bottom half of the inning.
Great top half of the inning there by the Indians to get out of that base running traffic to keep the score at 9-5. They've had multiple times this game to kind of blow the door open and just haven't taken advantage of the opportunities given to them.
Absolutely.
So this game is still within reach with an inning and a half to play. Or no, 2 innings to play. Mississinewa math, 2.5 innings.
Yeah, see, I told you.
I'm all over the place.
See, I tried to tell you earlier that Mississinewa math.
We quickly have a delay in the action here as there might be a substitution error on behalf of Wabash.
They may be just saying, hey, game over. Let's go home. Watch the Reds. I was just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
They're trying to get their substitutions
I know how
figured out
much
here.
you love the Reds, Mr. Dakin.
Making a substitution, number 15 for number 8. Coach Mike Scott's going to try to figure this out real quick. He's going to call the umpire over to see what's going on. I think Coach Scott is going to object this.
Now in for Wabash.
Or at least get some clarification.
Boy.
2-3-4 due up for the Indians in this inning. Holden Brown, Cohen Bailey, and Landry Rock is in the hole.
9-5. The Indians kind of have stalled out at that 9-run mark here.
Yep.
Have not scored here in the last couple of innings.
And the book has been fixed, and we're ready to play some baseball again.
So Beeks back on the rubber. Brown back into the box. And we're ready for some more baseball. And the pitch. Taken right down Broadway, strike one.
It's a really good pitch there, that outside
You know,
corner.
you being a golf coach, I just want to ask,
Yeah.
how would you announce a golf match? I mean, because, I mean, you just can't. I mean, have you ever seen Happy Gilmore? The guy's trying to talk behind him, and he's just like, be quiet.
That's also a fictional movie. If you watch it on TV, Jim Nance does a great job. They have towers they set up in them just like we're in the crow's nest right now. They're not actually on the course talking.
Boy, here is a hit deep down the left field line. That one will roll onto the fence, and here's a throw into second, not in time, as that was a lot closer than it should be, and Holden Brown will get in there with a leadoff double.
If that ball wasn't bobbled there at second base, he'd have probably been out.
Boy, it was going to be close. One way or another, it was going to be close.
The left fielder was able to get to the fence much faster than I originally thought, but with them playing so deep due to the wind, I think that's why he was able to cover so much ground quickly. And he had a cannon, by the way. That ball almost, it was a one-hop stop there at second base if it would have been fielded. Nonetheless, it's a leadoff double.
And here's the pitch to Bailey. It's a fly ball. Looks like it's going to be caught by the second baseman. It is.
I don't know if that was a little Hollywood on the catch there, or if that was really actually a tough angle. Nonetheless, catch is made.
A little bit of chirping going on between Brown and the shortstop.
But no, announcing golf is very similar to announcing baseball, except it's a quiet environment compared to a loud and crowded stadium.
Here is Landry Rock now stepping to the plate. And a long look in. And stepping off the mound is Beeks. Nine to 5 here in the bottom of the fifth. Mississinewa looking for their first win of the 2022 campaign.
And Bernius is on deck with O'Banion in the hole.
A long look in, and now the pitch. Taken on the outside corner. Strike one. No balls and a strike to Landry Rock, the senior shortstop, with Holden Brown standing on second base. And Wabash, like I said, 1-0 on the year. They could potentially be 2-0 or 1-1, depending on what happens here in the next couple innings. Nice breaking ball, just high. And it's taken for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
This game's kind of came to a standstill after all the runs early on. Last 2 innings, we've been 0 for both teams.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed on a pitch outside.
He's dancing in the box. Keep the feet quiet, rotate the body.
And now there's 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. And 1 runner on. Todd Bernius, like you said, standing on deck. Looking for his first plate appearance of the season. And the pitch is again swung on and missed. Strike 3. And Rock is down on strikes.
Just getting a little bit of happy feet there, kind of dancing with it. Could never get settled in or get comfortable.
Second out of the inning, and here's Todd Bernius. See if Todd can put one in play here.
And we forgot to mention, it's a bit new of a coaching staff for Coach Mike Scott this year in the Indians. They've added Scott Rowland, who's a history and health teacher here at the high school. I think that's the only new addition to the coaching staff this year.
I believe so. Evan Hammond, the first base coach and assistant coach. And obviously head coach Mike Scott down at third.
And then I think Micah Yakel is the JV coach.
Yes. Here's a pitch fouled off. It's 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs and a runner. At second base is Holden Brown. One count to the pitcher, Todd Bernius. Just after 7 o'clock, you're watching Indians baseball here on the Tribe Sports Network. Appreciate you joining us and appreciate you supporting these high school athletes. And the pitch in the dirt. Ball down to third. Not in time as Holden Brown will still third.
Brown still third base.
Well, Daughtry had to climb the ladder there to save that one from hitting the pole in left field, leading to a run for the Indians there. Good snag. This Mississinewa dugout's got a lot of life to it here today. I've been impressed with what I've seen so far.
Here's a ground ball to the second baseman. Fielded cleanly, and the throw to first is in time. And that will retire the side. We head to the bottom, or the top half of the 6th, with the Indians leading 9-5. We'll be back after this short break. You're watching Indians baseball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Atkinson Field. Good looking out here by our producer, Derek Gowan. As first pitch to the leadoff batter here in the top half of the sixth, Keaton Fields is taken for strike one.
Bernius has did a really good job since being held to the mound here. Just taking care of business as needed.
No balls, 2 strikes here. 2 Fields. Here is Todd Bernius in his second inning of work. He pitched just 1 inning back on Tuesday, getting a little bit more work here tonight. And this pitch taken outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Going to get at least 2 innings of work here tonight, maybe 3. We do have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen.
Looks like it's Dylan Otis.
Dylan Otis is warming up for the Mississinewa Indians. The long, luscious locks of Dylan Otis.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Now 2 Fields. Never know what Josh Dakin's going to say. Keeps you honest. Here's the 2-2.
That is my job.
Swing and a miss. Bernius retires Fields on a fist pump out there on the mound, and there is 1 out here in the top half of the 6th.
That looked like a Tiger fist pump at the Masters on a Sunday in his red.
Here's Jason Tate, the left fielder.
Well, if Wabash wants to make something happen, they might want to start doing it about now, because we're starting to dwindle into the last 5 outs that they're going to have.
Here's a ball lined into right center field for Tate. He'll round first.
And right on cue.
And we'll scurry back to first. And that'll bring up Trevor Daughtry. So Daughtry, obviously a good third baseman, as we've seen already in this ballgame, will lay down a perfect bunt down the third base line. O'Banion will field and not have a play. So there is now runners at first and second with 1 out. A 9-5 Indian run advantage, as they only have 4 runs advantage here, and that brings up Andrew Dillon. And like you said, if Wabash wants to do anything, they're going to have to do it now. And right on cue with you, Josh Dakin. Here they come.
They're rallying a little bit, but that I was always taught to pick your battles, and I thought O'Banion did a great job there of picking his battle. There was a chance that ball goes over his head, and then some real damage begins to sit in. So I think it was very well done just to eat it, get it back to the mound. We'll play on. You're up 4, first and second, 1 out's better than 9-6.
Yeah, and a potential for a double play here is here's a fly ball that is fouled down the left field line. And Bernius is ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
He's been ahead in the count about every single at-bat tonight, I feel like. He's been trailing very few at-bats.
He's done a really, really good job at pitching since he's come in the top half of the 5th. And runner on his way to third. There's a fly ball. It'll drop in for a base hit into left field. It will score the runner from second base. And now the tying run will come to the plate, and it will be center fielder number 11, Justin Booth.
Yeah, and he needed to push that ball to the opposite field for the left-hander. That left field side is the opposite side. He did a good job of holding his hands off, getting that bat behind and pushing the ball out to left field, able to score a run. Very well done. Good technique there by Wabash.
And, you know, for me, I kind of wonder at what point, if you're Mike Scott, do you potentially look at Dylan Otis in the bullpen just to kind of get in a different arm?
Yeah, if I'm Coach Scott, I'm not even thinking about that quite yet. I mean, Bernius has only given up 1 run, and it's still comfortably where they want to be. But I do think that starts to creep into the back of your head slowly but surely.
And here's a fly ball. Foul out of play back behind home plate.
if he keeps staying in front of batters like this, I don't think there's going to be any way that he's going to be sending to the bullpen. He's doing what he needs to do. He's just got to rely on his defense to make a couple stops here. I mean, your job is to throw it over the plate, let your defense take care of it for you. So I think he just needs to keep thinking, I'm going to get it over the plate. I'm going to let the defense take care of it.
I've been impressed with Todd Bernius tonight. I really, really have.
He's been fun to watch.
Yeah, here's the 0-2 pitch. This is lined into left field. It's going to drop in at the fence. It will score at least one run. And now runners at second and third. One out in the tying run. Stands on second base. Wabash cooking with grease here in the top of the sixth.
Yeah, I think I might have jinxed it there when I said they need to make a run right now. And I think it's going to happen.
And we talked about Dylan Otis warming up in the bullpen. And it looks like Mike Scott is making his way to the mound. We're not sure if Bernius is done or not, and he is. So the Indians will make a call to the bullpen. Here comes Dylan Otis into the ballgame. We'll tell you a little bit more about that after this short break. Welcome back to Atkinson Field on the campus of Mississinewa High School. And the Indians went to the bullpen, and they went to the hard-throwing right-hander Dylan Otis. And, Josh, we talked about it a little bit earlier. When do you go to Otis? Well, now's the time. You got runners at second and third. The tying run is at second. I'll be interested to see the kind of composure Dylan Otis has here with a runner in scoring position, runners at second and third. So if the runner from second scores, we got ourselves a game here.
Yeah, and I think we both kind of jumped the gun and were right on it. I talked about how Wabash needed to kind of get it together and make a run, and now currently they've had 4 straight base hits and they're making their run. And then you started talking about, well, when did they go to the bullpen? That is Mississinewa. And now Mississinewa has dug into their hat of tricks, and they're in the bullpen once again. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see down the stretch. This game is probably much closer than it needed to be, as Mississinewa had many chances earlier on with a lot of stranded runners on the bases. This game could have the doors blowed open already.
Here's the pitch from Otis. It's a ground ball to the shortstop rock. It is misfielded. And that is, we're going to confirm, but I believe the 7th error. It's the 8th error of the ball game on Mississinewa. Josh Dakin, that is 12 errors, and you're not even done with your second game of the season.
Yeah, that's a lot of errors. A lot of MLB teams usually have around 15 errors in a season.
So
I understand this is high school, and it's early on. I'm not making excuses, but it is super early in the season yet.
you are in a strikeout situation right here if you're Dylan Otis.
I mean, we're barely even into April.
There's a fastball taken right there for strike one.
And a problem is we've had such bad weather here. I don't know how often Mississinewa has even been able to get out into the field and practice fielding from these positions. They've only had 4 outdoor practices. 4 errors for Landry Rock, the shortstop for Mississinewa. But I'm going to guess they probably only had about 4 outdoor practices or so with the way the weather's been and the rain. So fielding a ground ball in the gym is much different than fielding a ground ball out in the field with the different hops you might get.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and the pitch swung on and missed. Now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Needs some super glue to tie that hat down on his head with all that hair. That hat keeps flying off.
Yes, it does. And the pitch. And this one is laced into left center. The runner will tag and score, and it will tie things up. We are knotted at 9, Josh Dakin. Still only 2 outs.
And with it being 7:30, we are now starting to talk about creeping into the darkness stage. The sun is to set at 8:13 p.m. at this time of year, and with the overcast skies, we might not be able to get this game completely in. We're going to be tiptoeing near the end of this game.
Boy, this is...
With it being the top of the 6th.
It's been a doozy of a game. It's been fun.
To say the least. I mean, we are knotted up at 9 in the 6th inning. That's a pretty good contest back and forth, if you ask me.
It's starting to get tough to see up here in the booth, the field.
Let alone with a
if I'm Dylan
baseball
Otis
zooming past your face.
I think if I'm Dylan Otis, I'm probably just taking my hat off.
I mean, you're looking at our camera right now. That is not a filter. That is how dark it is outside. We're creeping near darkness.
And the pitch. And again, back-to-back pitches, back-to-back times the hat comes off.
Unless you have 20/20 vision, that ball is going to be tough to see. And that might be a Mississinewa record for most pitches where the hat has came off the head.
We're going to have a talk with Dylan. This is fun.
That's a new record we're going to keep track of here at Mississinewa. How many times
does your
hat falls off the head while you pitch? We're going to have a hat fall off counter in the corner of your screen next game.
Oh, man. He's pitched well since he came in. I mean,
absolutely.
I know we're giving him a hard time about the hat. And again, the third pitch in a row. He's probably getting tired of bending over picking it up.
All I got to say is he can keep letting that hat fall to the ground if he keeps staying up in the count with an 0-2 count now, 1-2.
And now the umpire's even laughing.
It's like, good golly, keep it on there.
And the 1-2. And make it the 4th pitch in a row, and it's fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Like
he's going to have to get like
a
one
gripper,
of them great big rubber bands to tie around that.
It's going to have to be something. It's like the kid on the basketball
court
that
break
wears
the record?
glasses.
Can we break the record right here at 5? Here we go. The 1-2 pitch with 2 outs. Hey, didn't he rug him up on strike? Strike 3 called. Dylan Otis, he did come in and pitch very well.
That hat can fall off as much as it wants if he keeps striking kids out like that.
I would say.
I think they might be calling the game here. Let's see.
Nah, I don't know.
They're talking about it. Why no? But with the darkness that we're going to see here.
I would say
this might be the end right here.
This has got to be the last inning. If a runner scores, the game's over, I would say. Mississinewa has to have an opportunity here in the 6th.
He's talking about calling it. Let's see what they say here. I saw the words "call it" on the official's mouth, or the umpire, I should say.
So it's 9-9 in the 6th. We'll see here.
I would think that the Indians would be able to at least finish the inning and bat.
Yeah,
they are going to allow them to bat.
So this is going to be the last inning. We'll let you know more after this. You're watching Indians Baseball on the Tribe Sports Network. And welcome back to Rick Atkinson Field here on the campus of Mississinewa High School. Dalton Bishop alongside Josh Dakin. Josh, it's been a doozy, but right here, the Indians have the chance to win it.
Well, and this is kind of it for the game. It sounds like from what we've heard between the coaches and umpires, this is the last go of it here. They're not going to play a 7th inning.
I mean, you can
this
sit here.
This is the end.
I mean, you're watching it at home, folks. You can see just how dark it's getting. And the pitch is outside. And now, 2 balls. No strikes to Greg O'Banion, the third baseman.
It's getting dark enough we have to turn the lights on here in the box, so that means it's getting dark.
Yeah, it's getting about past my bedtime here. And here's a pitch inside, swung on and fouled off. But hey, I know we go to bed pretty early, but tonight's a rare occasion. You know why?
Why is that?
Greatest team in baseball plays, man. Cincinnati Reds. ESPN 2 coming up here in about half hour, 45 minutes. Go Red Legs. Here's a ball taken high. 3 balls and a strike. We'll get another look here at the couple of MLB scores here when we get a chance. And here is a fly ball. This one is hit deep out to center field, and it is gone. Greg O'Banion walks it off for Mississinewa. A home run to center field, 375 feet, cleared the fence, and the Indians will win it tonight on walk-off fashion. Greg O'Banion.
Wow, that is crazy to me. We just called that up here in the box. That's going to be the game.
So the final score tonight, Mississinewa wins it. Their first win of the season comes with fashion. They win it tonight over the Wabash Apaches, 10-9. Josh Dakin, your final thoughts on tonight's game.
Well, I thought this was a heck of a ball game, and there was not a better way to finish this kind of close game other than a walk-off homer. And once again, we talked about it all game. Wind's blowing out to center field. That ball would not have gotten over the fence unless that wind was blowing. So thank you to Mother Nature tonight as the Mississinewa Indians pick up their first win of the season. Great game.
Well, the Indians pick up the win in unbelievable fashion. We were talking about Greg O'Banion. If he gets a hold of one, it could be out of here.
Absolutely.
He sure enough, he got a hold of one, knocks it out of straightaway center field. And we're going to take a look here. I'll let you know when the Indians are back in action. But the Indians pick up their first win of the year. They beat Wabash tonight 10-9. And they are back in action on Saturday at Jay County. But stay tuned to social media as the weather is supposed to get ugly. So for the final time tonight from Atkinson Field, the final score, Mississinewa 10, Wabash 9. On behalf of producer Derek Gowan, our graphics coordinator Aiden Fortney, and Josh Dakin, I'm Dalton Bishop saying so long tonight from Mississinewa. The Indians win it 10-9.